Good morning, and thank you for joining us at Point 3D. Today, we're joined by the BricsCAD team, and in today's BricsCAD Unwrapped webinar series, we're going to be talking about BricsCAD for AEC applications. For those that might not be familiar, BricsCAD is a modern, high-performing CAD software application, but it's also a low-cost, flexible platform to replace your high-cost Autodesk subscriptions. I'm Greg Laws, principal at Point 3D, and if you're not familiar with Point 3D, we are a laser scanning technology and services provider. We provide technology from players like Faro, GeoSlam, Dot Product, and more. And our customers that we deliver these solutions to are engineering, construction, service provider companies, facility owners. We provide cost-effective, innovative applications like BricsCAD to solve their challenging problems. I am now going to turn the mic over to Julie, technical manager for BricsCAD North America. Julie, it's all yours.
Thank you. And let me just get a few things set up here. Let me go ahead and get my screen going. Okay, and I believe you're now seeing my screen. So first of all, thank you again, Greg, for hosting this webinar. As he said, my name is Julie Kavarian. I'll be presenting today's webinar. And this webinar is going to build on the introduction to BricsCAD Pro version 23.2 done by one of my colleagues a few weeks ago. Today, we'll look at some of the features in BricsCAD BIM, focusing on point clouds in an AEC application. Now, before we do that, though, I do have a quick poll. If you'd be so kind to tell us which CAD system you're currently using. And we will give that another minute. And we have one more poll for you as well. What do you use your CAD application for? 2D drafting, MEP, BIM coordination, MEP? All right. With that, let's go ahead and continue on. So, to start with our agenda, who is BricsCAD? What is BricsCAD and who is BricsCAD? We'll have a very quick review from the previous webinar, and then we'll focus today on point clouds in BricsCAD BIM. So, who is BricsCAD and what is BricsCAD? BricsCAD is the company. We provide, as Greg mentioned, a range of modern mainstream CAD, BIM, and mechanical software products, collectively known as BricsCAD. And BricsCAD has been building the software products for over 20 years. We have a global customer base, including Europe, Americas, and Asia. And the organizations that use our products operate in many different industry sectors, but primarily in the building, construction, and manufacturing markets. We're very customer focused, and we are known for our high level of support and approachability. Now, BricsCAD is based in Belgium and is part of Hexagon AB. Hexagon is a large global technology group with revenues of over 5 billion euros. So we have a very large company behind us. We believe that DWG is an extensible platform still. And we're leveraging the base DWG drawing format and developing productivity tools that are powerful, intelligent, and innovative. So, BricsCAD is the company, BricsCAD is the product. BricsCAD is a professional CAD platform without compromise. And it's a single native DWG platform with 5 product levels. So you can start in 2D with Light, move on to Pro, which gives you additional 3D modeling tools. We also have a BIM product, a mechanical product, and the all-inclusive Ultimate gives you everything just mentioned. Now, because BricsCAD is familiar, it has a very familiar interface, it's easy to learn. It's also auto-list capable, which means you can migrate most of your existing list routines and other customizations right over to BricsCAD. We also offer flexible licensing to meet your needs. This includes network licensing, perpetual, or subscription. Now, for you IT managers, what that means is we do not require named users. Oh, and we're very cost effective. So with BricsCAD, you can start your design in 2D and seamlessly transition into 3D modeling when and if you need it. But what really sets BricsCAD apart from our competitors is our AI-driven productivity tools. These are tools that help you get your work done faster. Our AI and machine learning technology is the cornerstone of our productivity tools for BricsCAD. So, as a quick review of the previous webinar, you had an introduction to BricsCAD Pro. And the first thing you usually see when you launch BricsCAD is that launcher. And this is where you choose the workspace to work based on your BricsCAD license level or edition. And you saw how familiar BricsCAD is. But BricsCAD is both familiar and unique. The interface is very familiar. There are many commands that are very familiar, but we also have some unique and innovative tools, such as the structure browser. This is where you can reorganize drawing entities in a tree view and then control and display those entities without touching layers, as well as copy guided, move guided, and blockify. Those are just some of the AI tools in BricsCAD that help you increase your productivity. Do you have existing dynamic blocks? Well, you can use those right in BricsCAD or convert them or create new parametric blocks that work in both 2D and 3D. And with BricsCAD, productivity also means getting help when you need it. That includes tools like our help resources, as well as in-product training with our tips panel and other training videos. Now, BricsCAD, you have the flexibility to work in 2D or 3D in one file format for 2D and 3D, all within DWG. And where the last kind of things that you saw last time were an introduction to our point cloud tools. And this is where we're going to start today. So today, we're going to look at a simple example first using a E57 point cloud. So we'll see some of the tools to make working with point clouds easier, and we'll use some simple 3D tools to model directly in the point cloud. Now, some are going to be simple, but if you need more than that, if you require BIM data, we'll take a look at how to take those simple 3D solids and turn them into BIM entities. Now, the second example is going to use an HSPC file format. Now, this is a file format developed by Hexagon. It's the Hexagon Smart Point Cloud, which allows for better control of the points. And the Point Cloud Manager in BricsCAD is where the available scans, regions, and classes in that HSPC classified point cloud are managed. Now, BricsCAD has smart tools to draw BIM walls directly in the point cloud. Now, these are BIM entities, not solids. And then we're going to wrap this up by looking at some other analysis tools to check the progress and quality during construction. So you can see, and we're going to see, how BricsCAD is a great tool for modeling the existing conditions of a project. So with that, let's get started. Now, the point cloud tools that are available are are first available in BricsCAD Pro edition, which you saw in the last webinar. Today, I'm running BricsCAD BIM version 23.2, and I'm also starting in the modeling workspace. You can see I'm on the point cloud tab in the ribbon, and these are some of the point clouds that are point cloud tools, available in BricsCAD BIM. Now, notice though, when I change my workspace to the BIM workspace, we're going to see some additional tools. So this is important because if you don't see all the tools and you do have BricsCAD BIM or Ultimate, just make sure that you're in that BIM workspace to access all of the available tools. Now, before a point cloud is attached to a drawing in BricsCAD, it goes through our own pre-processing. Now, this optimizes the point cloud, prioritizes the points that are most relevant. All of this happens in the Point Cloud Reference Manager. We see the list of my available point clouds, where they're stored, the size, the type, and the status. Point clouds can be inserted into drawings from here, or they can be deleted from your cache folder. There's also quick access to that point cloud cache folder in the settings dialog box seen here. And finally, new point clouds can be pre-processed here as well. And how does that work? Well, to pre-process, import a file or a folder that has multiple scans from any of the popular point cloud formats like E57, LAS, etc. Now, the scan data will be converted to a BricsCAD data structure, and then when it's inserted, here is what it looks like. And you can see it's inserted very quickly. This is a scan of a small house, and there are a couple of things I want to do before we start modeling. First of all, as you probably know, typically point clouds are not neatly aligned along an XY axis. That is typically how we work in CAD. With the Align tool, BricsCAD quickly rotates point cloud to optimally align it to that XY axis. Also, we can change the display of the point cloud with several tools. One is using the point cloud color map to change the color stylization and scheme. So quite a few different choices here, however you need to work. I'm going to leave it to the original scan colors. There are other tools to change how the point looks within the point cloud, such as the size of the points and how those display. All right, let's get to some modeling right in the point cloud. And there are several ways to do that. Some are specific to BricsCAD BIM, and some are just simply familiar 3D modeling commands like boxes or lines. Now I'm using PolySolid. That draws a 3D solid line that has thickness, and you can give it a height. So it's starting to look like a wall, but there's nothing really special about the PolySolid entity. It's simply a 3D solid. However, door and window blocks can be inserted into the PolySolid from the library panel. Simply drag and drop the blocks from the library right into the model. You can use exact values for the insertion point, or as you're going to see what I'm going to do, I'm just going to eyeball it and drag it right over there. Now, these doors and windows are included in BricsCAD, and you can also create your own as well. We're going to look at these in a little bit more detail in the next example. When you're ready, and if it's necessary, these polysolids can be classified as BIM entities, like a slab or a wall. Simply select the solid, pick a classification, and it's done. It's just that easy. Or really, this shouldn't be a slab, so we can change the classification again by just clicking which classification we want, applying it, and it's done. And looking at the properties panel, now we see that this is a generic wall. There's a lot of information there, but it's a generic wall, meaning there's no information about materials. Well, we can add additional levels of detail by applying a BIM composition. In this example, a concrete wall. And again, if you change your mind, simply drag and drop another composition onto that wall. And now instead of a concrete wall, it's a brick wall. These are included compositions in BricsCAD BIM. And of course, you can edit them, you can copy them, you can create your own. Now, is this model perfect? No, there's still some tweaking to be done, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to start modeling in point clouds in BricsCAD. Now, here's our second example, and this is that HSPC file format. This allows for the storage of metadata per point. This point classification is done using Leica's Cyclone 3DR software before the point cloud is exported out. Then, when an HSPC file that's been classified is pre-processed in BricsCAD, those classifications are visible and can be managed within the Point Cloud Manager panel here. We see the displays of the scans, the regions, and classes available. Scans are the individual scan points in the point cloud represented by green bubbles. When you open one of those, you see the most realistic visual representation of the point cloud from that scan point. Pretty nice. Now, multiple regions can also be created within the HSPC format and the PC Manager. Regions are a little bit like point cloud crops. The difference is that multiple regions can be created and they can be toggled on and off. Here, by toggling the visibility, you can do that with the icon or right-click. Turning off the court and the unassigned points leaves us with our building that we're going to be working on. Classes are logical groupings of points. Here we have walls, floors, ceilings, etc. Again, controlled with the visibility icon. If we turn all the classes off, then it's easy to toggle one of them on individually to see what is contained in that particular class. All right, so BricsCAD BIM gives you the ultimate flexibility of modeling your designs with direct modeling, as we saw just a little bit of. And now I'm going to show you top view mode. Once the story levels are created in BricsCAD BIM, top view mode can be activated. Notice the floor 1 tag on the left side of the drawing window and the building at the top left. Top view mode is unique to BricsCAD BIM, and it allows you to smoothly switch between working in 2D and 3D views. So you can easily adjust the vertical visibility range to suit your modeling. Think of that as a traditional cut plane when you're drafting. And now we're ready to start creating walls in our model, in our point cloud. And we're going to use the BIM quick wall because that's going to make modeling more efficient by automatically detecting the wall width directly within that point cloud. The command panel is where the options are set, and using that auto detect wall thickness option is very, very helpful. Then use the control key to toggle between placing horizontal or vertically oriented walls within top view mode. Now remember, we're working in a point cloud, but it feels like we're working in plan view. That's that top view mode. Now we only need to place a small part of the wall, as our automatic cleanup tools are going to be used to clean up and connect the walls. Those tools are the L-Connect and BIM Extend. So L-Connect selects, you select 2 walls and connect them, and it's that easy. Now, there are options to toggle between how those walls are connected. There are a couple of different butted connections, L's and T's, or mitered connection. And L-Connect works with walls of similar or different thickness. You can see there a really thick wall and not so thick wall. Now, BIM Extend detects the nearest wall in the same plane and connects those two. So with the help of these tools, a 3D model of the walls is done. But again, the model isn't perfect. We could probably tweak some of the wall connections, but in a matter of minutes, we've started a model. So let's take a look at the geometry created with the BIM wall tools. And again, even though we're working in top view mode, which is like plan view, this is a full 3D model. Next is to add windows and doors to the model. So first we want to create a section. Nothing unusual here, but BricsCAD reorients the viewpoint to be a head-on view of that selected section plane with the Activate Section View. Why? Well, to make it easier to add those windows. Now, to see where to place those windows, we need to see the point cloud again. And adding transparency to the walls to the 3D modeling allows the point cloud to show through so we know where to place those windows. Now, here again is the library panel. And this is where blocks are stored and managed, and it's searchable. Now, these blocks are included with BricsCAD, and they just happen to be 3D parametric blocks. Why is that important? Well, that means the sizes and other properties can be changed on the fly as the block is inserted into the model or after the fact. For Windows, those properties include the width, the height, and much more. Once you have one window in, you can use the Smart BIM copy tool to easily copy that window along the same plane. Now popping back to top view mode puts us in plan view to insert the doors. Door blocks are also available in the library panel, and they're inserted much like the windows are, even though the model is orientated differently. Again, we'll use the point cloud as a reference guide to accurately place the doors. Moving the cursor along the wall reorients the door as it's inserted. Or insert the door and then flip the swing or flip the hinge of the door after it's been placed. Now here's a more complete version of this model with all the walls, doors, and windows. And let's take a look at some tools to do some analysis against the point cloud. First is BricsCAD BIM's ability to detect planar surfaces in a point cloud and create a new surface plane. Fit Planar works directly in the model or in the bubble view. Now, here is the surface plane in the model that we just created. Once we've got that, we can use another AI tool, the point cloud deviation, to map the deviation or differences between a point cloud and existing surfaces. It checks the distance between those surfaces, solids, against the point cloud. So select the surface, set the parameters within the point cloud deviation command panel, and depending upon the tolerances set, the color of the points might differ, giving you that point deviation within an acceptable, warning, or bad tolerance parameters. Now, the deviation tools work on different types of planes. A vertical plane that we saw in the first example, a wall, or in a horizontal plane. So think of a slab. So here, as we cut down our section and get to the slab, we can now select that surface and set the parameters again within the point cloud deviation command panel, and we visually see those differences. Why is this important? Well, this can be used in several different ways. You could use this to check progress during construction. You could use this to check the quality of the construction as it's happening, or to make a permanent record of a completed building for future renovations. So let's do a little bit of a wrap up, because we saw a lot of information today with the tools that are available in both BricsCAD Pro and BIM. And remember, if you have the BIM edition, you get everything that's in Pro. So we learned and we saw the Point Cloud Reference Manager is really the hub for everything about point clouds for the most part. It's where you import, process, manage them. And we saw the Point Cloud Align and Color Map tools to make it a little easier to work with point clouds. We saw PolySolid as a simple, familiar way to quickly and accurately model directly within the point cloud. If required, simple 3D solids can then be classified into BIM entities to provide additional detail by applying BIM compositions. The Point Cloud Manager is where available scan, region, and classes that are in an HSPC classified point cloud are managed. And with top view mode, we quickly modeled BIM walls directly in the point cloud in a plan view, and then inserted those doors and windows from the BIM library. So instead of having to first model we could automatically create BIM walls. Now, we finished with a couple of AI tools, fit planar and deviation, to do some analysis of the point cloud. All of this done in BricsCAD single DWG platform. All right, who has some questions?
Julie, I have one that's come in.
Okay.
And the question is the BIM edition required to use the HSPC file format?
No, because the HSPC is supported with BricsCAD Pro. So you can use that, but you don't have all of the functionality on top of that. So yes, you can read them into Pro.
And I have a question related, just from the support team here. The BricsCAD native point cloud format, different from the HSC, that is still supported, correct?
Yes. The way that you can process an HSPC, there's actually a system variable that you just turn that on, and then it will pre-process that as the HSPC. If you turn it off, it's just going to pre-process it as basically like an E57. So there's a switch for that. You choose.
Okay. Another user is asking about those green bubbles that they see in the scan view. What are they?
So those are the actual scan points where the scanner was when it took the scan to create that point cloud. Not every scan is going to have multiple points. It just depends how the original scan was done.
And I think that you're alluding to, for the experts in the audience, structured versus unstructured data. So structured would have the bubbles.
Correctly.
Unstructured, from like a SLAM scanner, may not have the bubbles.
Absolutely right.
Let me take a look. The classification was interesting. Someone's asking about, does BricsCAD do the classification, or is that just done in the third-party product, Cyclone?
That's done in the Leica product. So when they take the scan, they're going to process it with their 3DR, and they're going to put in those classification points. And then they're going to export the scan with those classifications out to the HSPC file format.
If you're getting point cloud data from another source, are there other tools that can do that classification as well?
I don't believe so, because this is a hexagon specific file format that Hexagon delivered and invented, actually.
Okay. All right, let's take a look. Very powerful program. Someone's asking, are there third-party applications like available in other CAD platforms?
Yes, absolutely. We do have hundreds of third-party applications. You can find them on our website. You can find them directly within BricsCAD. There's, from the start page, there's an applications page where you can see a list of some. But yes, there's the website, I believe, is Bricsys, www.bricsys.com, and then /applications.
Okay, looking further down, being that we're talking about BIM, someone is asking about, can you import IFC models?
Yes, with BricsCAD BIM, you can import IFC models as well, but you do need BIM for that. You do need to have the BIM edition for that, as well as some Revit files come in, Revit families come in. BricsCAD itself does import quite a few different file formats: DXF, meta files, collada files, DGN files. And then if you're really working more in the mechanical space, we have a product called BricsCAD Communicator, which allows you to import and export additional file formats, usually related around the mechanical space. So lots of different file formats that we do support.
And the last question, just about help. Do you have anything for users that want to help get started quickly? Do you have online help or other information like that?
Yes, we have a very robust help site. We have customer forums where customers can, talk amongst themselves, if you will. If you have a BricsCAD account, you can submit a support request ticket to our support team. Of course, Point3D, as a partner of ours, can also offer some help. We do have online video tutorials as well, and a YouTube channel with a ton of videos up there. And we're constantly adding more training videos to the product itself. And within BricsCAD, the tips panel is a good source of information as well. It gives you help right within the product when you click on that particular command. Not every command is in there, but more and more commands are being added all the time.
Great. I think we're at the end of the question list. I want to thank everyone who has joined. And Julie, if someone wants to try this out on their own.
So I would suggest that they go to this website. It's part of the point3d.com website. This is where you can download a free 30-day trial of BricsCAD to see the power of BricsCAD for yourself. It's completely free. We do not ask for a credit card. We do kindly ask for a legitimate phone number and company email, because we do want to follow up, and Greg's team doesn't want to follow up with you while you're doing that trial. But this is a fully functioning version of BricsCAD with all the additions available.
You can also find this link at our website, point3d.com. And if you navigate to the technology page and to BricsCAD, you'll find the link there. Again, and this looks like you've brought up what we're going to be talking about on our next webinar. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Today's presentation was using BricsCAD version 23.2, specifically the BIM edition. Next week, Bricsys is launching our next version of BricsCAD, which is BricsCAD version 24, and we invite you all to join us for that launch to see and hear about the new features in version 24. You can visit the bricsys.com webpage. You'll see a banner like this at the top of the page, and you can just click register now, and we just ask for a little bit of information about that. And we hope that you will join us on Monday to see what's new with the next version of BricsCAD. So I'd like to thank Greg and the entire Point3D team for hosting this webinar. Please reach out to them to set up a more in-depth or focused discussion or any questions that you have on BricsCAD. And I'll turn it back over to Greg to wrap it all up.
Well, thank you, Julie. Thank you to the whole BricsCAD team for standing behind us and helping our customers work more profitably, faster, better. And with that, we will close this webinar. Thank you.